It's the final game of 2023 for the Oil as they take on an Anaheim club having another foul season. We get you set for the Oilers and the Ducks on the Oil Stream pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the program once again. Tom Gazzola, YouTube Trev with you, all of us here together. At some point, Shawn Belle is going to show up, I'm sure. He says he will because Matty Cassian is still under the weather. That nasty cold that's getting people, even get people down in Orange County. We're talking to some reporters that cover the Ducks and saying, hey, you want to hop on the pregame show for 10 minutes? And they're like, I'm sick. I didn't even go to the game in L.A. last night. I couldn't make it. So we're here together. Hopefully everybody gets well soon. We want you to get well. And for those of us that are about to have a fun night, let's get the party started with the Oil Stream pregame show. As always, you can join the conversation 780-218-9999 or via the Nasty Chat. If you're watching on our Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel, we're slowly adding subscribers. It has been great, a steady climb, and you know we appreciate you. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You get the notifications when the show begins and all that good stuff, and hit the thumbs up button as well as we roll along. The Oilers 17-15-1, the Ducks 13-22-0. This is game number 34 for the Orange and Blue, and we'll see if they can wrap up this 6-game trip. I know technically it's 2 trips, but 6 games away from home. They have won 4 of 5, looking to make it 5 of 6, and man, they are playing good. They've won 14 of the 20 games under Chris Noblock. They've won 15 of their last 21, and they're creeping back into the playoff picture. They do have games in hand. It's been a cushy, I think is a fair word, spread out start to the season through these first 33 games, now going into 34. And the Oilers, after an abysmal start to the year, have clawed their way back into relevancy, and we'll see if that continues tonight in Anaheim. All right, for all of those watching right now and listening, whether it's on the TuneIn app or via our audio stream on the Edmonton Sports Talk website, I will throw out the question of the night to you all, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Hit us up, Nasty Chat, text line 780-218-9999. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? YouTube Trevor, do you like that one?
I think, yeah, that's a fun question. That? Yeah, I really like that.
Do you want to get on here? Come on now.
Yeah. Oh, you want me on camera?
Get on here.
Okay, let's see.
You don't want to be on camera?
No, I got this.
I don't know where Shawn is. He says he was going to be in studio. There he is. Look at Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor.
You like being called... You like how I call you Trevor?
Yeah, it's weird because no one calls me Trevor at work. And Tommy just, I think it was yesterday, right? You just said, Trevor, get over here, or something like that.
Laughing.
And I was like, that's weird hearing you boys call me by my full name. So yeah, that's a fun question, Tommy. I got two memories that really stand out. It was against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Kyler Yamamoto's behind the net. He got hit by Justin Hall.
Yeah.
And then who takes charge? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins defends his teammate. And that was so sweet to see because we've seen Nuge. I think his first fight was against the Canucks. Dan Hamhuis, I believe it was.
Yeah, he fought Dan Hamhuis. I remember that. It's like rookie year.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Nuge. He's like, he was pissing me off.
Yeah, so we know he can throw him, and he's a quiet, tough guy. He is a tough guy. Justin Hall's no slouch. He's a big dude. And
big dude.
Man, Nuge he got him really good. I was so pumped. I think a lot of people were like, oh, let's go. Like, that was really cool to see Nuge just give Hall a good taste of medicine. So that was sweet to see. And then Zach Hyman, his OT winner against the Kings in the playoffs, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was very pumped. That was my first night in Edmonton, right? Because I'm still pretty new here. So I was at Rogers Place in the Moss Pit, and when they got that, and yeah, that was really cool. Just hearing how electric the city could be growing up from down south, and then I got to be part of that. It was really, really cool. So I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
I like it. Yeah. How would you sum up the year for the Oilers?
It's been a roller coaster year, Tommy, but I think for the most part, I think it's been a pretty good year. They made it to the playoffs. Ultimately they can come up short, but anytime you get to the playoffs, I think is still a pretty good season. So especially, being an Oilers fan, when I started, they didn't make the playoffs at all. So it's nice to see. As long as they make the playoffs, I'll be a pretty happy customer. And then to start the season, like I said, man, it was a roller coaster. Like I really, that was probably the worst start I can remember, from being a fan, growing up. That was very tough. It was very tough to watch the Oilers play hockey, especially with the pieces that they have. So I'd say it was a roller coaster year, Tommy. But for the most part, and right now, I'm really liking, where they're going.
Headed,
Where they're headed for sure. So
absolutely. Okay, I'll take a crack at this. What's my favorite memory from the last calendar year in oil country? Listen, this might be a little bit cheesy, but I like when we take the show on the road. I like when we watch a game, whether it was at 1260 when we were in Ice District. We'd love to get back there. I know we've been having negotiations. I'm not a negotiator, but I'd love to get back down to Ice District, and maybe we make that happen in the new year. Who knows? But then the watch parties we've had at Boston Pizza, which is a tremendous partner of ours here at Edmonton Sports Talk, getting to meet the Nasties, that has made it fun. And especially everything that went down with 1260, to see how a lot of it has carried over, to see some new and hear from new listeners and viewers, that's the memory that stands out to me. And it's kind of revolved around the hockey seasons, right? Like the end of last year, the start of this one, and it galvanizes you. So that's how I'll remember it. Now, the Oilers on the ice, they're a good team. They're back to playing like a good team. The memory I will have, though, is when they lost to San Jose on November 9th. And I was like, oh, my God, I am going to rip the crap out of this team because they are terrible right now. And to their credit, they picked it up. They knew how bad they were doing. And I think that was a crazy night for this show, the Oil Stream pre- and post-game show. And that it also was a reminder to how rabid the fan base is. So I would sum up the year in and around the team in oil country as an adventure.
That's the perfect word for it, I'd say.
I always think to myself, or I sell it to people that are from out of market, I go, there's never a dull moment with this team. There's always drama. People are like, why is that? I'm like, I don't know. This is like the 16th or 17th season I've covered, and there's always something, What? And I said it to Dusty on the Oil Stream in the afternoons. I'm like, why can't this fan base just have nice things? Why can't they enjoy a comfortable, really solid season? I would like that. I would like them to win 6 out of every 10 for 80 games. And then we have a nice year. They go to the playoffs and have a nice run. But no, we haven't been able to have that. So anyway, that's how I'll remember 2023 in oil country. And that's the memory that I have, is being out there game nights, whether it was, here at EST or back at the 1260 days. It's been an adventure, is how I would sum it up. So question of the night, to those that may have missed it and you're just tuning in now, what Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in oil country? For the love of God, nobody tell me that they remember someone getting their finger bit off at the moss pit because some guy was on drugs, because that was crazy. And then there's a shooting. I remember that. There was a monster brawl after game 1 in the establishment that I was at when the Oilers lost to the Kings. And Cass was on location. He had his wife there. And we're like, okay, we have to throw it a break because this is getting ridiculous. And the best part about that night, this will always stand out to me, is when there was 2 huge fights. There was one behind us, and then this one guy suckered another guy right behind Cass and his wife. And Mandy was like, okay, Matt, we have to get out of here. I'm like, you guys go. I'll mop up the show. That's all good. The best part was 3 minutes later, 2 cops with these guys that got into a fight just by the scruff of their neck, leading them out of the restaurant. Like they were junior high kids that got into a fight in the schoolyard, and the principal was pulling them out of there and taking them to the office in shame. That was the best. And I was like, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
And I think I had to plead with people to be like, listen, you guys are all wearing Oilers jerseys. Why are you beating each other up?
Yeah.
It's game 1. And they went on to win 4 of the next 5. Like,
it was weird.
Relax, as my no used to say.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was very intense down in that area, and it kind of sucked because all it takes is just a few people to ruin it for everyone.
Yeah,
and you seen that in the first. I think it was the first 2 games. Maybe it was just the moss pit was insane, but then they didn't let nearly as many people in for the rest of the playoffs or something like that. When the first time I went there was a little bit of younger kids, and they had these full bottles or cans, and they're just hucking them into the random crowd. And I'm like,
don't do that.
Like it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
So there was, but that's very satisfying that the cops are like, yeah, you're coming with me. Yeah, that's good.
Like little kids, and they're like, okay. Great fight though.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I enjoyed the hell out of that fight.
Yeah,
those guys went toe to toe. Like the one guy got suckered, and I was like. And then I'm looking at Cass, I'm like, what do you think? He's like, oh my, and Mandy's like, please, we need to get out of here. And then they're like, oh yeah, this is stupid. And then they went like across the bar, up like some steps against the wall, and the lawnmowers were out. And I was like,
jeez, I
should not be encouraged. Like I do not fight each other. Please do not, for the love of God. Everybody love everybody. But I like fighting. I enjoyed stirring up crap when I played, and that was a good fight. But the best part was where the cops walked them out like little kids, and I was like, "You dumbasses, get out of here! Get out of here!"
That's awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna read a bunch. It's we got an hour and 20 minutes before puck drop. Belzy's gonna hop on or stop by. I don't know. Did he text us? He's supposed to be in studio. Yeah, he's coming in, he says. And he'll join us for Game Changers, filling in for Cass. Cass is still sick, and we want him to get better. There's some kind of nasty bug going around right now, obviously, or some kind of – it's getting people, knocking them out. I know there's a COVID variant, but just if you're sick, take care of yourself, get well, lots of fluids, rest, and Cass is under – the weather. So hopefully he's good to go by the game on Tuesday. So let's get to some memories. Let's get to some people summing up 2023 in Oil Country. It is the question of the night. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year? How do you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? Brandon from Windsor says, Happy New Year, EST, LFG, drip, drop, mix in water. It's go time oil. Vance Van Vandervan says, Oilers Ducks game late last year. Met Tommy G and Gager after the game at Ice House. Yes, that's where we used to do our show. Then got so drunk, I still don't remember leaving the bar and just kind of woke up at home the next morning. I met Vance Van Vandervan, and we did some shots together. I had a great tab at Ice House, and yeah, we did a bunch of shots, and then I think Vance Van Vandervan ended up buying some. So yeah, he's a funny guy. Like, you see his comments in the nasty chat and via the text line, and you meet him in person, you're like, nope, this guy is hilarious. He's clever. So Vance Van Vandervan, great meeting you in person. I think we've run into each other once since, but love it. Kelvin says, let's go duck hunting. Dr. Gonzo says 8-2 Oil. That was the score the last time these two teams met. Sam says, bring it on. Happy New Year to all of you on Edmonton Sports Talk and all the nasties. Go Oilers. Thank you, Sam. Schickster says, go Ducks, go. Oh, stirring it up, are we? What else do we have? Foul season, Gene would be proud. Yes, Uncle Gene would be proud. He texted me yesterday. It was good to hear from him. What else? Zedmo says, I'll be lucky to see the third period. Mixing a water, guys. Mixing a water. Schickster says, Jets already won today. Don't think Oil as good as us. Don't expect lots from them tonight. Schickster, are you a Jets guy? Oh, boy. Tango says, Tommy's all dressed up with nowhere to go. I'm with you, nasties, and I want it to look good for the last game of the calendar year. Plus, we'll be done pretty early tonight on the postgame. We're going to keep it tight postgame. I know people are probably already getting going to parties. There's a lot of buzz downtown when I left my place, just walking around in the afternoon as well. They have like a huge igloo on the outdoor rink in the plaza, and it looks a stage set up, so it looks like they're going to have a great party there. Lots of families walking around and stuff. So, it's going to be fun. Mix it in water. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. I'll wind up somewhere. But we're here together. We'll be here together. Thankfully, it's a 6 o'clock start, our time. What else do we have? My fave memory, this is from Joel, says, my fave memory is Dry trying to comfort McDavid with their leg punch, knowing they support each other is a good look for them. Yes, they're very tight, those two. They are very close friends. What do you got, Trev? Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just doing some hand movements over here.
Oh, you're just doing hand movements?
I was like, I was doing this. When you said they're very tight, I was like,
they are tight.
Yeah, they are tight.
Yeah. Coach Mike. Hey, Coach Mike. Good to hear from you. Says, November 14th, the Ducks were 9-6. Oilers were 4-9-1. Since then, the Ducks have gone 4-16, and the Oilers have gone 13-6. Oilers cannot lose to this team tonight. Have to finish this disjointed 6-game road trip 5-1. Coach Mike, I'm 100% with you there. I do like the way that they've played against. I like the way they handled things in the second and third period last night. Obviously, the first period, the Kings, that 1-3-1 is just such a pain in the ass to watch. Like, Trev and I were like trying to like moisturize our eyes because it was so painful. We're like, oh. And then finally the Oilers, got the quick ups going. Like Belsey talks about moving puck up quick through the neutral zone, changed their strategy up a little bit. Finally, we're able to get through the power play connected, finally breaking that, 0 for 11 spell that it had been on. And Stuart Skinner made some really, really good saves. And we dubbed it the first steal of the year for an Oilers goalie. I guess maybe Campbell in Nashville. And that was the height of his season, certainly. He got the win yesterday against the San Jose Barracuda, by the way, for those that didn't catch that. But that was a great game from Stuart Skinner, and the Oilers managed to pull it off. They beat that Rangers win, I thought was a good one. The comfort behind win over the Devils was a good one. They're doing some good things here. They took care of business against San Jose, but I'm with you, Coach Mike. Make it 5-1, get a little bit closer to Arizona and Nashville, who are holding down the wild card spots right now. And these Western Conference games are all four-pointers right now. So take care of business. Show no mercy against the Ducks. Yesterday was a bus ride from downtown LA into Orange County, so they shouldn't be too weary. They didn't have a skate today. Chris Noblock is speaking, I think, right around now. We will get that audio for you a little bit later. And just pedal to the metal against the Anaheim Ducks. And let's see if they can make it happen. Jocelyn Texan, hello Jocelyn, says, Tommy, I remember being the only Hurricanes fan at Boston Pizza earlier this year and got to meet you. Yes, Jocelyn, you were supporting the Canes, and they had a great night against the Oilers. That was a rough one. That first period was painful for Oiler fans, certainly, but Jocelyn, in her Canes jersey, enjoyed it, and I know Jocelyn supports the Oilers every other game, though, except for the Hurricanes games. And the Oilers got the better of the Canes in tremendous fashion on home ice not long after that. So, Jocelyn, great meeting you. NJ. 780-218-9999. It is the Oil Stream pregame show. Gazzola and YouTube Trev with you. Shawn Belle will be joining us in a few minutes. He's making his way down in for Matty Cassian. Cassian under the weather, and hopefully Cass is back up and running soon. Question of the night, what Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? We'll do anticipated starting lineups and starting goalies, and then obviously we'll update everybody as the night moves along and the teams hit the ice for warm-up, and we'll see how things go. Now, post-game, Chris Noblock did say maybe to Evander Kane for tonight. I suppose maybe we'll get an update in his availability. Maybe Kane takes warm-up. We shall see, but this is how they rolled things out yesterday. McDavid with Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins. That line's been absolutely on fire. Draisaitl was between McLeod and Fogle. You had Ryan between Janmark and Brown. Hamblin centering Ernie and Lavoie on defense. No changes. There's Ceci, Ekholm, Bouchard, Kulak, Desharnais. No Ben Gleason. He was sent down to get Raphael Lavoie up on an emergency basis. Dylan Holloway is on the trip. still on the IR, will not play on this trip. I'm sure he's going to be reevaluated. He's probably being reevaluated every day at this point, especially being there with the team and the medical staff and the trainers and all of that. So maybe by Tuesday, or is it Saturday against Ottawa, we might see Dylan Holloway back, which is a good thing. His game was just starting to come around when he got hurt. Sam Gagner, he's nicked up still. I know Noblock before the Christmas break said it was a short-term thing, but he was not able to play yesterday. As for the Anaheim Ducks, here's how they played or skated the other day at practice. It was Zegras between Max Jones and Ryan Strome. Mason McTavish centering Alex Killorn and Frank Vetrano. Adam Henrique between Brock McGinn and Brett Leeson. And then Sam Carrick centering Ross Johnston and Jakob Silverberg. Oh, boy, he's on the fourth line right now. That's not good. He's generally a much better player than a fourth liner. Maybe indicative of how things are going for the Ducks right now. On defense for Anaheim, Cam Fowler with Jamie Drysdale. Pavel Mintyukov with Ilya Labushkin. Labushkin, look out for him because he can hit. Urho Vakanainen with Radko Gudas, but I know Gudas has been a little bit dinged up lately, so we'll keep tabs on that during warm-up. Out for the Ducks of late, Troy Terry, day-to-day upper body. Leo Carlson, IR, sprained MCL. If you saw that injury, did you see that one, Trev?
With
Carlson got hurt, he got bent like...
No, I did not see that.
It looked nasty. So they're saying it's sprained MCL. I'm like, that's a tear for sure. But he's young, limber, and they're saying it's a sprained MCL. He's on the IR right now, the second overall pick from the draft. Isaac Lundestrom also on the IR with an Achilles issue. Starting goalies, this is what we're anticipating. 31-year-old Calvin Pickard getting the nod. 2-2 this season, .299 goals against average, .898 save percentage in 5 games this season. 0-2 lifetime versus Anaheim with a .353 goals against average, .896 save percentage in 2 appearances versus the Ducks over the course of his career. And then you've got, we're anticipating John Gibson, the 30-year-old starting for Anaheim. 7-14-0 record with a .277 GAA, .909 save percentage in 23 games this season. Gibson versus Edmonton over the course of his career, a 9-7-3 record, .318 goals against average, .901 save percentage with 1 shutout in 20 appearances versus Edmonton. So there you go, starting lineups.
Pretty, I don't know. What are your thoughts on... They really should be able to just play with them tonight, eh? Like, just looking at it, honestly, I don't mind the Ducks in the future. They got a lot of really good pieces. Obviously, we know how skilled Trevor Zegras is. Mason McTavish is, a high pick in the first round 2 years ago, I believe. Troy Terry, he is coming out party last year. Yep. And then Leo Carlson as well. Like, they have a lot of really good players. They're just young right now. They're still figuring it out. So I think this team is actually like they're on their way up, but I'd still give it like 2-3 years before they're really, really competitive.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah. You're right. Some good pieces. And it looked like they're off, like Coach Mike alluded to, off to a good start this season and have been slipping since. Joe Not Exotic, hello, Belsey, says, holy Tommy, looking dapper, my man. Big plans after the game. Hot date, Joe Not Exotic. I don't know. We'll see. There's a few options out there. Yesterday, people were getting after it. I was getting texts after the game like, come here, come to this place, that place. And I was like, Tommy's tired. I may have gone out, though, for 1 or 2. Kept it close to home. 780-218-9999 if you want to get in on the conversation. What are you up to tonight for New Year's Eve? Any big plans? Popped in at the JW today, and people are checking in. You can see they're ready to go. It's going to be wild downtown, hopefully safe, and everyone has a great time. The weather's fantastic. I'm sure a lot of people watching the Oilers game, and then will go to their parties or maybe watch at their parties. But, yeah, what are you up to tonight? And the question of the night, what Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in oil country? So hit us up in the inbox, 780-218-9999 if you're just listening along, whether it be via our audio stream or on the TuneIn app. And then if you're watching on YouTube, get at us in the nasty chat. Let's bring in Shawn Belle.
How's it going, Tom?
Hi, Belzy.
You look fantastic today,
Thank
buddy.
you. I said I'm gonna. This is the last show of 2023.
Let's try to end it with a bang, eh?
I just want to look nice for everybody.
Good for you.
You look very nice. You look comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Excellent. Thanks for filling in for Cass, by the way.
Yeah, not a problem. Cast is off, so it is what it is.
He's not doing too good. He's sick. You just had what he had.
But I'm here right now.
You are
But
here
I'm
today, yes.
Yeah. And I was here yesterday,
You were
too.
here yesterday. You did great, and you got a lot of praise from the listeners and viewers. So we said, Belzy, maybe if Cass isn't good to go, you said, put me on standby. And you know what? The best part is you came in today.
I know.
I love it.
I know. It's crazy.
Is Lynn sick? Is that why?
She's hanging on.
She's hanging on?
She's
Okay.
hanging on.
Hang in there, Lynn.
She's hanging in there, Lynn's. The little one's doing better, so
Evie's all right?
yeah, she's doing okay. She's running her mouth, chirping away. Good for her.
She is adorable.
Yeah, she is.
She is. All right, get in on the conversation. Hit us up via the nasty chat and the text line. Question of the night one more time. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year? How would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? And bonus question, what are you up to tonight? Do you have a big party at home? Are you going some big dinner maybe? A hall party? I remember one year. Remember the last year that it was like this for New Year's. I think it was 99 flipping into 2000. And we went to the Italian Cultural Center.
There's no way you remember 1999, 2000.
I remember we were 14 or 15.
Based on...
We were
okay,
14.
come on. You really remember that?
Yes.
Okay, continue. Continue your story.
Thank you.
My bad.
Yes. You're bad. Shawn, I remember it because we went to the Italian Cultural Center. It was Y2K. People were worried that the computers weren't programmed to work or anything like that. There's people like hoarding water and toilet paper. This has become a thing, evidently. And we went to this part, and Nathan Fillion was there because his dad and mom were teachers, and my mom worked at one of the high schools with his dad. And so it was like a really like fancy party. Super nice. Our whole family was there. My mom was adamant that we go, and we got to meet him. It was really cool. And then he was kind of like on the way up in Hollywood. And now he's just a household name. Good old Edmonton boy.
Yeah.
So I remember that
story,
night. We were
Tom.
14 years old.
Good story. You
I was
must
a
have
little
to be
dork
there,
with
eh?
an undercut. What's wrong? I'm telling. It's New Year's Eve.
I'm just coming in fiery. The Dolphins lost today. What do you
they got
expect from me?
smoked.
They got smoked. What do you want from me?
Well, you're among friends.
I'm reeling.
We're here for you.
I'm reeling right now.
We're here for the
And I'm surprised Maddie's not sitting here with that smug grin on that couch, just staring at me, smiling.
He's in a sling right now.
Yeah.
He can't.
I'm glad he's not here right now.
He's probably smiling from ear to ear. Awanek, big win for those
Unbelievable.
Ravens. And then it's a New Year's Eve miracle. The Arizona Cardinals beat Philly today, and I was quite proud of them. Quite proud of them.
That was actually nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
What a surprise. Belzy, I'll throw the question of the night at you before we get into game changers. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country?
The memory that stands out most is Vegas, like in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Cam Rangel is kind of near the bench. It pans down because it's the place still like right. I think it was right in front of the Oilers bench or maybe the Vegas bench. Pans down and you see Kane basically on top of Keegan Kolzar, raining punches down on his ribs. The Oilers were bullying somebody.
Amazing.
It was honestly one of the most vivid memories I have of the Oilers in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something where I'm like, you know what? I believe this team's going to do it. That was a moment. However, it didn't happen, which kind of sucked. But it was such a cool moment because it was like, hey, the Oilers they're playing big boy hockey. They are skating. At that time, they were skating all over Vegas.
Yep.
Vegas tried to push back, and these guys said, nope, that's not happening today. And it was a really impressive moment because obviously, you know, I had to play in the decade of darkness, and that was never even a remote possibility at that time.
Good point, yes.
You know, you come back, I play in Germany, do all these different things, and been retired for 9 years, and the Oilers they've been pushing, and then all of a sudden it's like this moment, this is like, holy man, like they're on the cusp of doing something.
Yeah.
Great. And, that's what's kind of stuck with me. And like I said, unfortunately, it didn't happen.
How would you sum up the calendar year in oil country? I called it an adventure. Trev said it was a roller coaster ride. What does Shawn Belle think?
An amusement park.
It was an amusement park, man. Never a dull moment with this damn team.
Yeah, it was an amusement park.
It's
There's some really good moments with this team. Best players in the world. They've got guys that are elite players. But at the same time, with those elite players come things that, aren't the greatest things in the world. And, to start this season, it's been so much up and down. We talk about the different systems that they've got, talk about guys that are doing things that are out of the norm, and whether guys were injured and all this different stuff. And, that came right out of the fact that there were such good vibes with the captain's gates and all that kind of fun stuff.
Sure.
And, it hasn't gone the way that I think everybody thought it would, but they're trending up, which is good.
I like that you brought up the that moment. That was the F around and find out quote from Kane
100%.
that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
They won that game. They had a lead, and it's good to remind ourselves, too, in that series, because remember early in this season, people were like, oh, the Golden Knights broke the Oilers. They broke the Oilers. I was like, I don't really think so. And the Oilers in that series did have a lead in every single game. Now, they pissed them away,
Yep.
especially in games, 5 and 6. That lead that they blew in Game 5, where it was the 3-goal swing late in the second period, that was the series right there.
Yes, it was.
That was the series. But, they pushed the Golden Knights, and I understand why they felt the way they did, and you saw the responses in the locker room after they were eliminated, because they knew they won that series, and they had it in the palm of their hands. They let it slip away. Maybe it could have been a Stanley Cup year for them.
It could have been.
Could have been. I saw a text via the nasty chat saying one thing that they were surprised by. I can't remember who it was. I'm looking for it. But Jay Woodcroft, the shock of Jay Woodcroft being let go.
Yep.
Yeah. Someone, Tango says, YouTube, Trev, turn your hat on straight. Well, he's got his headphones on. He's all good. Some stranger says, YouTube, Trev looks like Luigi.
Better than Mario.
Better than Mario. Okay, I'll start calling you Luigi. All right, what do we have here? I'm going through. D. White says, you have nothing better to do on a weekend than to spend time on a chat of an Oilers stream, and you aren't even an Oilers fan. Kind of sad. That's going after Schickster, because Schickster is mixing it up.
Is he?
Yeah.
Schickster?
Yeah. He's a proud Winnipegger.
You want the smoke?
And Schickster is a Winnipeg sports talker and EST subscribers. So
Schickster, the greatest thing that happened to Winnipeg, actually, let me rephrase that.
Sure.
The greatest thing that happened in Winnipeg was the Palomino, and you crazy people out there shut that place down.
Right?
So now that you don't have a Palomino, are you actually a city?
Oh, first it was the
You want the smoke, Schickster? Don't come in here and start firing it up.
Schickster is getting it rowdy in there, that's for sure. Oh, I love it. All right, 780-218-9999 and Nasty Chat, question of the night. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year? How would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? Let's go inside the Oilers locker room at Honda Center. We do have fresh audio from head coach Chris Noblock. Let's hear from him.
Keeping stuff. Is Evander Kane expected to play tonight?
He's going to take warm-up, game time decision, but we are hopeful that he is.
And just confirming, Calvin Pickard in between the pipes?
He is playing, yes.
Any concern about getting, it was an emotional playoff style type of game against a team that this team's developed a bit of a rivalry with. Your team's going pretty good. The squad's struggling a bit, just, the dreaded. I don't know if it's a lingo that gets deployed as much in hockey as it does in football, but a bit of a trap game, second of a back-to-back.
Absolutely. The less than 24 hours, obviously that has an effect. And then also the emotion of yesterday's game, of the come from behind, playing against LA and the rivalry that there is, that you put so much emotion and energy into that game. It's tough to get back at it the next game. But I don't think we're in any position to take any games off. We certainly need to still pass teams. It's really important that we are ready for it.
How much can you use that emotion coming into this afternoon's game? Of course, with the second half of a back-to-back, but there was so much joy and excitement, of course, after that shootout win.
Well, I think that's exactly it. The emotion you bring in is confidence, excitement, joy to play hockey. And when things are going well, you're winning games, it's so much easier to play hockey. And right now, it's easier to play hockey after a really important win the other night. And hopefully we can use that for our energy tonight.
Evan Bouchard played 29 minutes last night, and I don't know which statistical model you guys are deploying, but in the stuff that's available for the average citizen out there, right now Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm are number 1 and number 2 in the entire league in expected goals for defensemen. Just a thought on what you've seen out of Bouchard since coming aboard the last 20 games and how that pairing has really elevated their level of play.
Well, I see so many good things. I see two guys that are defending really well. And when they defend well, they're not giving up space, entries on the for the opposition to carry the puck in the offensive zone. And when that's happening, you're in a position to break the puck out. And I think those two have done an excellent job getting the puck to the forwards. And then something that also that you can just see so much confidence in is just when they get the puck on the blue line. It's not a reset. It's not a slinging a puck to the net. They are looking to make a play. And whether that play is to shoot it on net or they're walking the line, looking for forwards, they're very cognizant of what they're doing with the puck and not just giving it away.
Jack Michaels has officially won his fantasy football league. Just a thought on the brilliant management that must have taken place during the course of the season. And were you ever a fantasy football guy?
Well, I was excited about our win last night, but I think I'm more excited about this. No, I was not, but I feel very happy for him. And if I do join, I know who I'm going to ask.
That's 2 days in a row with a joke from Chris Noblock. He does have a sense of humor. That's great to see, getting the assembled media giggling. And leave it to Stoff to ask a hockey coach about fantasy football at the end of a scrum. Good job, Stoff. Good job. How's your fantasy football going?
I'm in the championships right now.
Oh, baby. So it's not all bad for you on the
I'm
football
up by
side?
1.32 points. They've got a kicker.
Uh-oh.
3 minutes left in the game.
Uh-oh.
Probably going to lose.
Stoff, by the way, is excellent at fantasy sports.
Is he really?
No joke. Like, he is a machine. So
That's not really that surprising.
no, it's not. He's very meticulous when it comes to a memory like an encyclopedia. So anyway, good to see some laughs in the scrum. Hopefully laughs after the game if you're a fan of the Edmonton Oilers. Let's see what we got in the nasty chat. Belzy's getting set for game changers here. Jimmy says Tommy has no one to kiss at midnight. Who said that? Jimmy. What else do we have here? Max Power. Oh, Max Power. I like this one. Happy New Year from Germany. Looking forward to the first win in 2024, at least in my time zone. Max Power, where are you coming at us from Germany? Because we have the EST map of the world, and we're putting the little pins on locations where we're finding out nasty chatters are from. So that's where we want to know. So we could just put it on Germany. Kind of a big country, but let us know, and we'll put a pin on there. It's always cool to see who tunes in from where. Penner's Pancakes. What's up, Penner's Pancakes? Says, tonight Brown scores. Hey, he was kind of around it a little bit yesterday, which was great. Appreciate seeing that, and maybe he gets to convert at some point. It's been a tough year for Connor Brown. Let's have a look in the inbox. Freezer bag, man. Like, you know, I want to be nice to you, Freezer bag, but sometimes you don't make it easy. So I'm not even going to reply to that. And it's only me that Freezer bag likes to talk about. Freezer bag, if I meet you in person, maybe you need a beer and a hug. Jeez, that's
good
sad.
stuff.
You're sad sometimes, Freezer Bag. I hope you have a good night, though. Ken says, Happy New Year, boys. Tommy, awesome New Year's Eve story of meeting Nathan Fillion back when his big claim to fame was two guys, a girl, and a pizza place. For calendar 2023, my favorite Oiler memory would have to be McDavid winning the Art Ross by a country mile, as well as Nuge cracking the 100-point club. By the same token, I agree with the Trev assessment of 2023, a huge roller coaster ride. I like it. Ken, appreciate that.
Yeah, that's pretty
man.
fair. That's good stuff.
Well said, Ken. Thank you for chiming in on the question of the night. And the Wolf, says, the Wolf is dressing up tonight now that I don't work tomorrow. Black pants, black shirt, black/purple striped tie, dressing nasty tonight from the Wolf. The Wolf, I like it. Have fun, my friend. Don't get that tie dirty. Don't get that suit dirty. Keep it classy. Have a few bevies. Be well, my friend. Be well. All right, are you ready to get into Game Changers?
Let's do it, buddy.
Here we go. Let's get to some business here. Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting, RE/MAX Elite. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. It is Shawn Belle in for Matt Cassian. Cass under the weather still. It is Game Changers. Number one, Belsey, is don't fall into the trap. And we heard Chris Noblock talk about the trap. You brought it up last night.
We talked about it last night, and it's more evident the more the day goes on. Emotional victory last night. Playoff-style hockey. It was big boy hockey. It was a game in which, you saw LA really force, and the Oilers had to push hard to get back into that game. Now you come in to Anaheim, and it's a team that, you should beat based on skill.
You have beaten this year.
You have beaten. You've handled them. Is the game going to be as emotional as it was yesterday? Most likely not. Mm-hmm. The skilled players from Anaheim, while still young and very, very good, they are not Kopitar. They are not Deneau. They are not Dubois. They are not going to put the physical pressure on you as a team. So you walk into that game basically after coming out of LA with the game that you did. Don't fall into it. Don't be lethargic. Make sure you come out ready to go, because if you are ready to go, you should have 2 points, which will get you that much closer to a playoff spot.
Is it as easy as saying, hey, guys, if you're Chris Noblock and the coaching staff, remember what you did in San Jose? Can we copy and paste that, or is this a little bit tougher?
It's not as easy as that. And I wouldn't say it's a lot tougher than, changing the whole dynamic of the game. It's just make sure we don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Mm-hmm. Like the last 2 periods of yesterday's game against the Kings, that was probably the best hockey we've seen the Oilers play. That was as close to a true playoff game as we possibly could get. And when you play a game like that, your emotions are high. You feel good about yourself, especially at the fact that you won the game. Everything is trending in the right direction. But now you've got this game here that's just, it's not that great. It's not that tantalizing on the schedule. It's okay. It's warm weather down in Anaheim. You feel good. You might have sat by the pool. You never know. Then you walk into the game, and you got that duck sound going off, and it's not what the atmosphere was in LA.
Right.
That's a rivalry.
Yes.
So you sometimes let your foot off the gas. And what you have to do is you need to make sure that, you get a good warm-up in, because you're probably a little bit tired from the game yesterday. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you have a good pregame. You got to make sure that whatever you do, there's just a pure focus, and there's that same intensity that you brought into the second and third period of the LA game. That's how you get through this. If there's any kind of deviation from that plan, there's a high likelihood you're going to come out lethargic.
And that could open the door.
And
for
that
the
opens the
Anaheim
door.
Ducks. And they want to end their calendar year with a victory as
100%.
well, obviously. Probably want a little bit of vengeance on the Oilers, too. Go back to your player days. Was there a trick that you had for back-to-backs in a situation like this? And I know, in the AHL days, when the 3-and-3s and staying in one city for a 5-day span, that was weird and different in its own right. But did you have a trick as a player to make sure you were ready for that second game, and then in the AHL sometimes that third game in a row?
Yeah, I mean, usually those, in the Western Conference of the AHL, you'd be on the bus, you'd be all over, you'd be flying everywhere. Yep. So the games were really tough. So, for me, I just found that I had to warm up more, right? Whenever I was able to get to almost a full sweat, a workout, my body just kind of snapped back into it. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I was back to where I was. If at any point I was I feel tired today, I feel lazy today, then I knew I wasn't having a good game right away.
Yikes.
So it was that easy, but it's hard, especially when you're flying all over the place. You're waking up at 4:00 in the morning. Now, luckily, these guys aren't doing that, and it's as close to a normal schedule as you possibly can get on the road.
Yes.
So yeah, you just make sure that they're coming out firing.
Yeah, it's that bus ride from downtown LA.
Yep.
To Orange County.
To Orange County.
Right to the hotel. Go to sleep. Probably got to sleep in a little bit. Meeting today.
Yep. No morning skate, which is nice.
Skate. Ice is always available, though. Some guys like to go out and skate, but generally nobody does, right?
Did they have a morning skate today?
They did.
They didn't, right?
Yeah, but there's always ice, and usually a goalie or like an injured guy will go and skate, right? And that's kind
or
of what happens.
Scratch will get the wheel skated off of him.
Cass has talked about that at times.
Oh man, we had quick story.
Yes, of course. We've got lots of time today. It's
playing. I was with Minnesota. Jacques Lemaire is a coach. Mario Tremblay, assistant coach. We'd always get skated. And Mario, whenever he came out and he stayed late, like guys would try to dodge him because he'd just skate you into the ground. And if you had Craig Ramsey, it was going to be a nice skate.
Man,
so
Craig Ramsey, Jacques Lemaire, and Mario Tremblay on the same coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
There's a pillar of the 70s and 80s.
And Ramsey was like the best of the best. So anyway, we play Anaheim. This is the year that they won the cup.
Okay.
And
07, right?
They were up 3-0. Game 4, no morning skate. We don't have to do anything. Awesome. So we win. It's 4-1. We go back to Minnesota. Okay, this is going to be cool. Normally, home team skates first.
Yes.
Road team skates second.
Yes.
If you're at home, you get off because you know there's a time limit.
Yes.
So if you skate like you're a healthy scratch and it's, okay, we get off the ice at 10:30, you know there's half an hour max.
Yep. They're pretty stringent about this in the
They're
playoffs, too.
They're very stringent. Yeah. Well, Anaheim doesn't skate. So we have 2 hours all to ourselves. And me and Joel Ward got absolutely skated into the ground by Mr. Tremblay.
No way.
It was probably the worst and most depressing skate I think I've ever been a part of because it was like we were the only guys that were on the playoff roster. So if somebody was hurt, we were the guys going in.
Right.
All the Black Aces were in a different place doing their thing.
Yep. We
were the only guys there. And for whatever reason, Mario was like, okay, well, you guys haven't played in 4 games. We're gonna open it up here.
For the full 2.
And it was full 2.
Oh, man.
It was the worst.
Was there a goalie out there with you guys? No, of course not.
Just us 2.
That sucks. That's old school.
It was old school. Old school.
And Anaheim won that series.
Yep. Yeah. In Game 5.
Yeah. You should have said, I know. Now I know why Patrick Roy said what he said.
100%.
Yeah. All right. It is Game Changers with Shawn Belle in for Matt Casson. Number 1 was Don't Fall Into the Trap. I like the story time, though. That is nice. Number 2, take away Anaheim's elite skill. Bellsy.
Yeah, they've got some guys that definitely can play, and it kind of ties into that trap game because if you decide to come out and you're soft on Zegras and you're soft on, Troy Terry, guys like that, that's the game that they want. It falls perfectly into how they play. If you play a big boy game and you eliminate their skill, once again, your high likelihood you're going to walk away with 2 points.
Right.
Guys like Zegras, they want an easy game. They don't want to get touched. They want to do the Michigan, which is fantastic. It's a wicked move. But at the end of the day, you got to come in and you've got to erase their skill. Whether that's, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Hyman, getting on the forecheck, using their elite skill to kind of erase what Anaheim has, or it's guys that are, on the third and fourth lines that are playing hard and they're just grinding away and they make it a hard game where at no point are you just earning a line for free. Everything that those guys do, they've got to go through somebody. They've got to chip a puck. It's got to get off their stick a lot earlier than they normally want. That's how you're going to win this game.
All right. Number 2, take away Anaheim's elite skill. Number 3, we left this open.
Connor Brown.
Oh, Connor Brown. Oh, there we're okay. Let's go to Connor Brown.
I really thought yesterday he had a good game. Okay. He was around the puck. He was skating hard. He had some chances, and he just felt yesterday that it was starting to come. Whether that's true or not is a completely different story, but yesterday's game, it felt like something was about to burst.
Okay.
Today, Connor Brown scoring a goal.
This is just a feeling?
This is just a feeling. I've got a feeling. It's an indication of based off the way he's played. He's been a lot better since the day that he got healthy scratched. You know how upset he was then.
I would assume as much.
He's come back in, and since he's come back in, his level of play has been higher. It's been better. It's been more complete. He's getting chances. Usually as a coach, you worry about players that aren't getting chances because you're like, well, I don't know how to help you. But guys that are consistently getting chances, well, you're like, well, at some point, this dam's going to break.
Right.
And he's been getting chances. In particular, yesterday, he had about 2 or 3 real good chances where if he can bear down or he gets that lucky break, that dam probably breaks. And then what happens from there if he gets some confidence?
Maybe he starts scoring. Maybe he starts playing. Maybe the worm starts to turn for him. But Belzy yesterday had 14:26 time on ice. Some time on the PK, which to his credit is one of the few things that has gone right for him this season. And listen, like the PK hasn't been great. It had a nice stretch there where it had what was it, like 7 or 8 game run where it was pretty solid. But for the most part, it's been a down year for the penalty kill. Brown's been on that PK. Yesterday, he had 3 shots in 14:26 time on ice. And like I said, he's been on the PK. The Oilers' PK has slipped this year. It got into the middle part of the league in terms of ranking, and now it's 20th at 78.4%. What did you think of Connor Brown being thrown out there with Ryan McLeod in overtime last night? Why do you think that is?
That's a coach that trusts his players. You don't go into a high-pressure spot like that without a coach actually trusting you. So we sit here and we talk about his game, and he hasn't scored, and he hasn't done this, and he hasn't done that. He was bad early. Mm-hmm. But you look around the league. At any point, when there's a 3-on-3, it's your best players or it's the guys you trust the most.
Right.
And so for the fact that he goes out there with McLeod, well, to me, Noblock trusts him. It's as simple as that.
It was McDavid Draisaitl. It was Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, and then I think the third rotation through was McLeod with Brown, and then back to...
Yeah, because at no point am I going to sit there as a coach and be like, oh, I'm going to throw this player, but I don't know, man. I don't know. You throw guys out there that are going to say, you, in your heart of heart, you say, yeah, I'm comfortable with this matchup. Guys that can skate. Obviously, 3-on-3, there's a lot of open ice, so McLeod's going to go out there because he can skate. Brown's going to go out there because he can skate. And on the defensive side, he's trustworthy.
Okay, that I understand.
So they put him out there.
Right.
Clearly trust him.
You would think that it would be Evander Kane, but he was banged up, didn't play last night, and Brown gets a look up there. And then I suppose talking about the trust factor, Chris Noblock talked about a post-game yesterday where he trusted his coaching staff when it came to the next guy up in the shootout, and they said, you know what, Derek Ryan's actually pretty good. Ends up getting the winner for them. Let's take a look at goaltending. Yesterday was Stuart Skinner. We talked about him stealing one for the team. That's the first game that we call it an EST declaration where he stole one. I think all of us were in consensus in this room saying, yeah, he definitely stole that game. There was a lot of positive vibes from the nasty chat and the text line in regard to Stuart Skinner yesterday, which was good. People acknowledging that they were potentially or maybe a little bit too hard on Stuart Skinner at times this year. But yesterday he had himself a game. Tonight it is going to be Calvin Pickard who gets to start. He's 2-2 this season. He's had 5 appearances. His last game was against New Jersey. Picked up the win there. What do you see in Calvin Pickard right now? And the reason why I bring up the goaltending thing too is because we're seeing a young guy in Olivier Rodrigue who is putting together a good season down in Bakersfield. He's getting a lot of attention, and there's some who suggest, hey, you got to get him up here and give him a look. And I'm like, whoa, time out. Let him do his thing. Let him be the guy in Bakersfield. Yep. If there is a situation that arises up here, then he's the first call up, not Jack Campbell anymore. How do you think? Because Gager talked about a hierarchy when it comes to the minor league system in the farm and who gets the next call. And it doesn't matter really. It's not on merit of how good you're playing or what you're doing. It's, hey, this is a guy that we're trying to bring along sometimes. And in the Oilers' case, they wanted Jack Campbell to be better and get back up here. Well, guess what? Remember it was supposed to be a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Then it became a month. Then it's a month and a half. We're creeping into 2 months here, and he's still down there. Had a good game the other night, but what do you think of this Olivier Rodrigue situation, and then what Calvin Pickard has given the Oilers as a backup right now?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, like Campbell just hasn't earned it. He's been not good.
Right.
And I'm not going to just keep piling on him. He just hasn't been good. At the end of the day, like you look at Olivier Rodrigue, he's playing fantastic. I understand the appetite for fans and for some people in the media that want him to come up. But I guess I will ask the question of why. Because Calvin Pickard isn't hurting you.
No.
Is he great?
He's adequate.
He's fine. He's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So right now you've given the ball to Stuart Skinner. He's starting to roll with it. Clearly, he's a type of goaltender that likes to know he's the guy that helps him be a little bit more comfortable. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to worry about things. He just instantly played better. He's been playing way better. He stole a game yesterday, like we mentioned. And then your backup has been adequate. He hasn't hurt you. Nope. He hasn't stolen anything for you.
I thought he was great against New Jersey that first game.
He was. He was.
I'm not saying steal, though. I'm saying he was really good, helped them get the win against New Jersey.
So with adequate goaltending and better defense, where guys aren't bleeding chances, because that's what the Oilers were doing at the start of the season.
Totally hemorrhaging.
They were bleeding chances. And you saw it with all the goaltenders, whether it was Campbell, whether it was Skinner. They were giving up goals that we all sat there and said, oh, man, that was a bad goal. But at the end of the day, we've talked about this 1,000 times. Puck goes east-west.
Yes.
The likelihood for you to score goes up by at least 30%.
Royal Road. Right?
Royal Road.
Yes.
So if that's the case and we can consistently bleed chances, well, yeah, no wonder the goaltenders are awful. Now, in Campbell's case, once again, a little bit different. But, like, if a guy's standing wide open back door and you throw it across the Royal Road and it hits a stick and it goes in, how do you blame the goaltender for that?
Well, I know some fans out there have found a way.
They've found a way.
Media
but
types,
like,
yes.
But
you're right. You're logically no.
Hockey is a team sport. It is the biggest team sport on the planet. This is not a sport in which, Connor McDavid is one of 11 guys and he plays, 58 minutes of a 60-minute game.
Right.
He can't impact the game the same way a LeBron James can impact the game. He can't impact the game the same way a Patty Mahomes can impact the game.
Right.
He plays 25 minutes out of 60. And elite players, for the most part, touch the puck a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds. So think about that for 2 seconds. So, yeah, they leaked chances. And then the goaltenders weren't good. Now they don't leak chances, and the goaltenders are better. So for me, I sit there and I say the goaltending right now is adequate.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here saying it's great. I'm not saying it's awful. It's adequate. So you've got a goaltender on the farm who's got unbelievable, confidence right now.
Yes.
He's playing lights out. At no point do I want to bring him up too early just to say I got him into a game and potentially wreck his confidence. Because if that confidence snowballs into something bigger, maybe next season he comes up and he's the guy that you've been looking for.
As a backup?
Backup.
Or maybe pushes Stuart Skinner.
So, yeah.
I'll just throw one more at you in regard to goaltending. Did you, in your playing days, come across a young goalie? Like Josh Harding, was he kind of that guy? Or was he already established at that point?
Josh Harding was very much that guy. He played in the minors for almost 3 years.
Right.
And, he just kept getting better and better and better in Houston. And finally, by the time he came up, he was a good goaltender.
Became the wild starter.
The starter. I think he took the job from Manny Fernandez before Backstrom came in and eventually took that job. But at the end of the day, they slow played him. He was good. Jimmy Howard, they slow played him in the minors. He was in Grand Rapids, and all of a sudden he comes up when he was ready, and boom, there we go.
He had
There's multiple goaltenders across Binnington.
Right.
He was at the end of the day, it's not like he was just here's 5 games and then all of a sudden he's up. He was down in the minors, he got better, and then all of a sudden, bang, here he's in the NHL and he's contributing.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You don't want him to come up just to do whatever, just for that one games for the sake of,
Yeah.
we got him in the game. He's our next guy.
Yeah. Like the way he's going, at some point he'll play, but if it doesn't have to be thrust into it.
He doesn't have to be thrust into it. Like, and people are going to say, okay, well, you bring him up so you see what you got.
Yeah, but you're chasing a playoff spot.
You're back when I played, you bring guys up so you could see what you got.
Yeah.
Right now, you're chasing a playoff spot. Every single point means something.
Yeah.
So you don't have the opportunity or the ability to say,
Luxury.
we're going to mail this one in just to see Olivier Rodrigue, whether he's good or he's not. You don't have that luxury. You have to get these 2 points because literally everybody right now is saying, well, we need to get in the playoffs.
Right.
The team's mantra is cup or bust.
And that
So
came
at
from
what
their
at
second
what
best player.
point can you mail in 2 points?
Not with that start. You can't. Josh Harding, his career when he took over as starter was sidetracked by MS, right?
Yeah.
That sucked because he was just starting
He was just starting to get there,
to hit it. Yeah. That good memory. But and yeah, like I want to see Olivier Rodrigue have success and to keep this going and it to snowball. But those that are saying you need to get him in, it's like, why? What for? Why right now? You got 2 guys that are getting it done. You're on a 14-6 or 15-6 stretch in your last 21 games. With these 2 guys are getting it done. So anyway, he'll get his moment, I'm sure. Just don't thrust him in there just yet. All right, that was Game Changers, brought to you, as always, by Damon Bunting, Remax Elite. Get in on the conversation, 780-218-9999, or via the Nasty Chat, the question of the night. We're throwing it out there, nice and easy. What Oilers memory stands out to you the most from the past year, and how would you sum up 2023 in Oil Country? I saw one earlier from D. White, said, Nuge getting 100 points in a season was a 2023 highlight. And then D. White asking if the projected lineup tonight is the same as last night. D. White, the only difference right now is that Evander Kane will take the warm-up and is a game-time decision. So we'll see if he is good to go. We do know it's going to be Calvin Pickard in goal for the Oilers. Max Power says he's joining us from southern part near Stuttgart. You know where the Porsche comes from in Germany. So,
great
all right.
spot. That's kind of where Hugo Boss
you played in Germany.
Yeah.
You know all these things.
That's where the Hugo Boss factory is.
You say some things that are a little bit offensive in German. You know all the bad words.
I know. No kein Pils bitte.
What is that?
One more beer, please.
Oh, yeah. On a night like tonight. Say that again.
Noch ein Pils bitte.
Max Power, did he say that well? Did he say that well? He did
It was
play
exceptional.
in Germany. Kevin Texan says, Happy New Year's from St. Albert. What milestones will McDavid surpass this season? Oilers will win to end off the year. Tonight, he could eclipse or get to the 900-point plateau. He is 897 after picking up 2 yesterday. Displaced Yukoner. Hello, Displaced Yukoner says, Happy New Year to all. Let's see a West Coast sweep tonight. Displaced Yukoner. I think a lot of people would agree with you there. And then the doc says, I bought in-flight Wi-Fi to listen to the show, boys. The AM Nasty Mile High Club checking in. All right, the doc. I like it.
Yeah.
Belsy likey. Trev likey.
Good stuff, buddy.
The doc. Clutch. Very, very clutch. All right. 9 games on the schedule. We need to talk a little World Juniors, too. You, of course, gold medalist at the World Juniors, silver medalist as well, but we don't talk about that as well. Hey, by the way,
We don't talk about that.
it was a lesson for you guys going into the next year. You did mention it on Hello Hockey. And I like how you reposted your lineup from the 05 team.
Yeah, somebody tagged me in it.
As they should.
Josh Marshall, 2 Months podcast.
Oh, yeah, Josh. I know.
He tagged me, and I was like, I might as well post this.
That was great. That lineup is stellar. Like first rounders, all-stars, future Hall of Famers. Who were your guys' goalies in 05?
Régin Bolchemin.
Okay.
And Trevor Glass.
Oh. Pogge was later, right?
Yeah, he was the year
And
after.
Fleury was the year before.
Yep.
And Fleury by then was in the NHL.
Yeah, I think it was Pogge after us and then Pricey like 2 years after that.
Oh, yeah, because Price came in 08?
Yeah, something like that.
Some 07, 08, somewhere around there. Yeah, that team was a powerhouse, though.
It was a pretty good team.
Yeah, it was a really good team.
I lost my fantasy.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Day keeps getting better and better.
Maybe the Oilers will make it better. We'll see. We'll see, pal. We'll see. 9 games on the Oilers or the NHL schedule tonight. The Oilers included, obviously, in Anaheim tonight. Winnipeg 3-2 winners over Minnesota earlier in the day. The Boston Bruins lead the Detroit Red Wings 3-2. 5 minutes left in the third period. There, Ottawa up 3-1 on Buffalo late in the second. Pittsburgh a 2-0 lead with 5 minutes to go in the second period over the Islanders. No score between the Habs and the Lightning. 5 minutes left, or 4 minutes left, I should say, in the first. You got the Oil and the Ducks. And then later on, you've got Calgary welcoming Philadelphia. We'll see Philly on Tuesday. The Avalanche host the San Jose Sharks. And then finally, to wind up 2023 in the NHL, you've got the Chicago Blackhawks visiting the Dallas Stars. Any marquee matchups in there, Belsey, that you're like, yeah, that's a good one? Winnipeg, Minnesota's done. Boston, Detroit, third period almost over. Ottawa's up 4-1 on Buffalo.
I kind of like that matchup.
The Ottawa, Buffalo.
Boston, Detroit.
Boston, Detroit.
I don't mind that one. There's something about it. Don't know what it is. Detroit, just something about them.
Well, they've been slipping lately. 3-7 in their last 10, but maybe they get the equalizer late in the game.
There's not that great of matchups today. Like the Winnipeg, Minnesota one, sure, because of the area.
Yeah, proximity.
Boston, Detroit's probably one of your best matchups there. San Jose, Colorado is just going to be a cakewalk.
For the Avs.
Chicago,
obviously.
Dallas, interesting one. Chicago's been in a lot of games, eh?
Yeah. They don't win them, though.
They don't win them, but like I didn't expect them to win. I kind of thought they were going to get like 2 or 3 goal spread almost every night, but it hasn't been that.
11-22, Belsey, with 2 overtime losses.
Yeah. Sun comes
3-6-1 in the last 10. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. YouTube, Trev, what do you got? Anything? You're just having a nice
Nope, just trying to find if Vander Kane's playing. I'm keeping tabs with that.
Okay, update us on that if you see it. And then World Juniors, the semifinals or quarterfinals are set. I just had it here. Why did I click out of it? Oh, my goodness.
I think it's Slovakia and Finland.
Yes.
Canada, Czech.
Yes.
Sweden versus
Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the
US.
Americans taking on Latvia.
Oh, boy.
What have you made of this World Juniors?
I feel like it's wide open.
Yeah?
Everybody's kind of just, like, there's been a lot of good teams. I did not expect Germany losing to Latvia.
Right.
At all. I didn't expect Germany to beat Finland.
Right.
I didn't expect Finland to then beat Sweden, who looked like one of the favorites. The U.S. has been getting better and better every single game.
They destroyed Slovakia, who Johnny Rosen yesterday on Hello Hockey.
I know, were a dark horse candidate
right.
to win the whole
and
thing.
They smoked them 10-2.
Yeah. You know, it's that U.S. team just keeps getting better. Like, it's almost like they play a whole year together.
Well, they do.
Oh, they do. Huh,
they
weird.
do. That development program's pretty good.
It's been unbelievable.
How much faith in the Canadian boys?
I think they'll get there, but it's going to be an uphill battle because if they win this game to get to the semis, who they play? Like, and most likely it's going to be the U.S. or it's going to be Sweden. Correct?
Mm-hmm. I believe so. Yes.
So in their division, I'm assuming that they'll end up playing Sweden then.
They finished behind Sweden by 1 point in the round robin.
Yep.
The U.S.
Oh, so they're in the same division together, and
yes.
then the U.S. was in Pool B.
Correct.
With
Slovakia and Czechia.
So then it's going to be they win this game. Most likely they play the U.S.
That'd be a hell of a game.
It's going to be an unbelievable game.
Bring it on. Bring it on. The Swedes taken to the World Juniors as well, which is great to see. You did not enjoy your time playing in Sweden? Or you did?
It was fine. I threw my shots across the bow last night. I'm done.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's get to some text. 780-218-9999. We're getting you set for the Oilers and the Ducks. Spruce Grove Corey. What's up, Spruce Grove Corey? Says, hey, guys, I've got a belly full of BPs getting ready to crack a 6 o'clocker for this game. Let's go. Spruce Grove Corey. Appreciate it, my friend. And I think he had one of the new pizzas, which was great. I saw that earlier on X.
Was that the deep dish ones that we tried?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good, actually.
Really good. Really good. I think Spruce Grove Corey wants them to be a permanent fixture.
I don't disagree.
Those are great. Delicious. Delicious stuff. Let's go into the nasty chat. What's going on there? Weird G texts in and says, fun fact, McDavid has 128 points in 75 regular season games played in 2023. McKinnon has 133 points in 83 games. Both still have one more game left to close out 2023. There's a disparity of 8 games there. I think McDavid would surpass that if he played 100 or if he played 83 games.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Anybody else in the nasty chat? Thoughts going into this one? We want to hear from you. Nutsy Dielson says, I agree now is not the time with Olivier Rodrigue, but if they find themselves in better position point-wise, they need to test him.
Yeah, like if things are safe and you're good and you have the opportunity towards the end of the year, sure, bring him up. I have no issues with that, but right now is not the time.
Yeah, not right now.
Everything that you have to do is to try to get back into a playoff position, so you don't have the opportunity to, mail in points,
right,
or to gamble with it.
Gamble with the points. I understand that absolutely. Schickster actually has a question for you. He says, did you ever change your playing style when you had a backup goalie in as opposed to your number one?
Was I a junior player at that time, or was I a pro player? Because there are two different answers.
Okay, well, give us both.
As a junior player, hell no. Full throttle all the time. I was like a forward. As a pro player, you don't really change the way you play. Like you try to play hard regardless of who's in net. Now, if a goaltender is a really good puck handler like Mike Smith, then you definitely change things up because instead of going back for a puck, you just go to the corner and you wait for him to just pass it to you because he's going to get it tape to tape.
Yes. Sometimes he gave it away to the other team, but
Sometimes,
not often.
But not often. But outside of that, like for the most part, no, you just play hard the entire time. So you don't really change what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one unnecessary risk versus another, but for the most part, it's
same.
It's the same.
If you had a Olivier, let's say hypothetical here, the Oilers get into a position where they're comfortably in a playoff spot, and like some people said, now you get him into a game, and you want to see and test him. And in that instance, do guys play more careful in front of him?
Who are you playing against?
Let's say it's the Anaheim Ducks.
If it's the Anaheim Ducks, yeah, well, you're probably going to, here's a bit of a slide for you. Like, here's a little bit of a layup game. That's what they probably think. Okay, you're going to put him in. You're going to get tested because the game's not going to be as hard or as tight checking as it would be against an LA Kings team or Vegas Golden Knights. So it's totally dependent on the matchup that you have as well. So San Jose, you probably see him. Mm-hmm. Anaheim, you probably see him. Mm-hmm. The other guys, probably not.
I understand. YouTube, Trev, you want to get on the conversation a little bit as we get set? We got about 10 more minutes before we sign off. For the
I missed that last question. I'm sorry.
Are you seeing anything? Any updates, YouTube, Trev? Are you living in your own world over there in the corner?
No. It's chill vibes right now. No updates as of yet, but probably won't. There probably won't be until the puck drop, I bet. I don't know.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I was just on there, Tommy.
Okay, I trust you.
You don't trust me.
I do trust you.
Oh, that's rude. Okay, never mind. No, that's good. No, that's
no updates.
Nothing. Still
What do you got going on after this?
I got a house party. I got invited to a good old house party, and looking forward to that. My friend's making Jello shots, so we're gonna have one or two or 3. I'm just
Or
joking.
10.
Or 10, yeah. It's going to be fun. I got the place to myself again tonight, so that's going to be good. And I can't wait. It's going to be, I love the New Year's. It was funny. You guys on Hello Hockey, or who was it? Who was it that said it was a little overrated?
It's
was
overrated.
it you? Yeah. You think it's overrated? No,
Totally.
This is actually like, I don't know, maybe I'm just, I'm probably in the minority, but I think New Year's is one of my favorite like days of the year. I love it. It's something about starting fresh and just, what a great year. And maybe it's just because it was probably the best year of my life and I loved it so much, but I just feel like there's so much more and I just get motivated. It's just, I don't know. I really use it as a motivating factor and I just love it.
Technically,
What?
if you make a bad decision on New Year's Eve,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
it carries into the new year.
Oh.
So you're not actually technically starting fresh.
Well,
And what about like starting
but
the
I
new
thought
year with a
you were
hangover?
I thought you were gonna say, well, you can just let it be in the past year because you start a new year.
No, it doesn't go away. It carries on with it.
I actually don't get hangovers anymore. So
Really, at 25 years of age?
well, you see me the last few Saturdays that coming
That's
in.
a young guy flex.
The-
Young guy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because we got at it at our
Grow
staff
up, Trev.
party.
Stop
Yes, we
throwing
did.
that in our face.
Okay.
Ouch, man.
And I was absolutely sloshed that night. I come
Yeah,
in
you
the next morning and I'm like, hey, let's do this.
You were going a little bit slower than usual.
Well, yeah, but I was still impressed.
You didn't know where your keys were.
I lost my keys.
This guy. You survived, and here you are. And
He was dancing with random people.
he was.
How did you hear? Everyone
We
heard
told
about
him
that?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
it was
guys did.
amazing.
Went to pick up my keys the next day. The bouncer's like, "Oh, you're here again." I'm
Yep.
like, "Oh gosh."
You're like, woohoo.
Tommy, there's been some shots fired.
Uh-oh. Go on.
Nasty chat.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Joaquin Gage.
What did Gager say?
Are you dealing cards later, Tommy?
Yes. Come over and I'll take your money, Gager. Bring some
yeah.
beverages. Bring some beverages. Although I assumed Gager tonight would be at like some really grandiose party where people were like in costume and stuff like that. That seems like
Gager's
stuff.
probably on his couch, sweatpants on, popcorn kernels kind of crumbling down his
Oh,
chest.
gross.
Megan's telling him to clean it up. His daughter's trying to leave the house. Stay here, wait for me.
Don't leave, Daddy.
Don't leave. I'm hanging on. His son's already at Hearts right now.
Oh, I love it. Hello, Gager. Miss you, buddy. Miss you. We do have lines for the Anaheim Ducks confirmed now from Ali Lozoff. From the Ducks broadcast, McTavish between Killorn and Vetrano. Zegras with Jones and Strome. Henrique between McGinn and Leeson. Carrick with Johnston and Silverberg. On defense, Fowler with Jamie Drysdale. Mintyukov with Ilya Labushkin. Vakanainen with Radko Gudas, who is good to go. John Gibson confirmed your starter for the Anaheim Ducks. So you got Gibson on one end, and then you got Calvin Pickard at the other end. We're just waiting to see if Evander Kane is good to go for tonight. He is taking warm-up, but a game-time decision. Radko Gudas. Cass told me that even in junior, the guy was a tank.
Yep.
He and Klim Kostin a couple weeks ago had a huge collision. Klim's a big, solid guy. Gudas is a big, solid guy. And Klim was hurt. Klim's on IR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it looked like something. He was like, ribs or something internal. It did not look good. And I was like, ooh, and Klim tried to skate to the bench because he is tough as hell, too,
Yeah.
but couldn't.
Gudis is definitely a guy that the Oil should be all over.
They were interested last year. They sniffed
Yeah.
around. Couldn't make
He
it
didn't, something about his no trade. He didn't want
I
to
think
come
so.
to the Great White North.
something like that. You played against him, obviously?
I didn't. He's,
No.
he'd be, 5 years younger than I was? I was probably leaving the Dub as he was coming in.
But in the NHL, AHL, did you ever
No.
play against him? No, didn't cross paths.
No.
Okay, yeah, he's a tough, you know what, but yeah, so he is good to go for the Ducks tonight. As for the Oilers, still waiting on word for Evander Kane. YouTube Trev is all over that. And then I know in the nasty chat, people like to send us updates, so sometimes we get it from them. Dr. Gonzo says, Vinny, better than Gudas. Talk about Desharnais. What say you, Belzy? I think that says it all. That says it all. Zedmo says, I'm doing magic later, making... I'm not going to read the rest of that, but well said, Zedmo. Kevin says Gudis didn't want to play in Canada. Zedmo also adds Gudis didn't want to come to Canada. And then Vans Van Vandervan, this is for Gager, says, I imagine Gager's at a Eyes Wide Shut themed New Year orgy, wearing nothing but a mask and leather coat.
He's probably got a ball gag in his mouth.
No. No. Oh, no.
Oh, that's what happens, Gager, when you come in.
Oh,
Over the top like that.
And, hey, you know who else is coming over the top? Frank. Frank says, I beg to differ. I saw YouTube Trev the day after as well. He was very hungover.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Oh, too good, too good. All right, it's the Oilers and the Ducks. Edmonton looking for a fifth straight victory. Looking to end this road trip. A 6-gamer obviously is split up with the Christmas break. 5 out of 6, Belsey. 5 out of 6. I think it's safe to say this team is back. They're rolling. And like you said it earlier on the show, in Game Changers, don't fall into the trap. Take away their elite skill. And Connor Brown.
That's the one.
Anything else you want to add?
No. I'm hoping the Oilers will finish off 2023 with a bang. Looking forward to watching.
It's been quite the year in oil country, that's for sure. Let's wrap up with some texts that have come in. 780-218-9999 if you want to sneak any in. Favorite memory from this last calendar year in oil country. Biggest highlight to you. We want to hear from you. Or what do you got going on tonight? Like, let us know if you're going to a Eyes Wide Shut party like Gager is, evidently, according to Vads Van Vandervan. I love it. Oh, the nasty chat, always delivering. Donnie says, Happy New Year, Tommy. Great work all year on both stations. Donnie, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for crossing over to EST from 1260. Jasmine, hey, Jasmine, says, Oilers win, taking the over at 6.5. Happy New Year, Tommy, and little YouTube Trev, and, of course, Sean. Tommy, the vest is everything. Slay it tonight. Thank you. I knew Jasmine would appreciate it.
Good job, Jasmine.
Thank you, Jasmine. She appreciates it.
Way to suck up.
It worked. It worked, Belsey. Maple Jed says, Happy New Year, TG, Trev, and Belsey from Maple Jed. Happy New Year to you as well, Maple Jed. Have some fun out there tonight. Be safe, be well. Let's see if the Oilers can get the job done against the Anaheim Ducks, looking for win 5 in a row and to cap off what has been a adventurous 2023. Maybe it leads into a prominent 2024. Who knows what can happen, but like I said numerous times already on this show today, never a dull moment in oil country. All right. Tango says, things usually don't get this nasty till the post game. Must be New Year's. Some stranger says he's too old to party. Eric says, whole defense looks better with cough, launch Brown to the moon, pray for a goalie. That's from Eric. And then
Eric,
Schickster out of Winnipeg
on.
says, Happy New Year, EST. We'll see you in the playoffs. Send you to the golf course early. Schickster is a Winnipeg sports guy, Winnipeg Sports Talk listener, viewer, and was stirring it up pretty good today in the national
Schickster.
chat. Yeah.
Go to bed.
Dr. Gonzo says, Happy New Year, guys. See you soon. Joel says, Happy New Year from Ontario. First, see you all in the new one. And so with that being said, we're going to wrap things up here. YouTube, Trev, any final words from you, pal?
Just thank you for all the continued support. We'll see you in a year. Oh wait, I guess we have to do post. Damn it, I have to wait to say that till later.
ruined it.
Darn it!
You haven't even had a drink
Never
yet.
mind. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that pretty soon here.
All right.
I love it.
Belsey, any final words for the pregame?
I got nothing. I've said everything I need to say today.
You were great. Great to have you in studio as well. That's going to do it for the Oil Stream pregame show. Oilers and Ducks. Enjoy it. If you're having fun tonight and going to a party, be safe, be well, mix in a water, all that good stuff. Don't drink and drive. And if you are going to be able to join us for the post-game show, we appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, smash that thumbs up button for the pregame show. And enjoy the game. We'll catch you on the post-game. If not, Happy New Year, everyone. Take care.